Absolutely.
There's a light on down the road tonight, in a town that's growing every day. New faces, new dreams, new stories to tell, but some things never fade away. Through the highs and the hard times, through the questions we all face, we're still neighbors, still believers, still finding our place. And every voice has a story, every heart has a song. When we listen to each other, we find where we belong. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the noise, from the streets and the small towns, from the dreams and the choices. We're stronger when we're together, one conversation at a time. These are the voices of hope. They're yours and they're mine.
From Violin to Beamsville, across Niagara skies, every person has a chapter, every struggle has a why.
We can build for tomorrow without forgetting where we've been. A community is more than buildings, it's the people living in them.
Every laugh and every lesson, every road that we have crossed.
When we share our stories openly, nothing good is ever lost. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the noise, from the streets and the small towns, from the dreams and the choices. We're stronger and we're together, one conversation 'Cause hope grows louder when it's shared out loud, and one voice becomes many when it joins the crowd. These are the voices of hope, rising up through the years, through the change and uncertainty, through the laughter and the tears. We're building something bigger, one conversation at a time. These are the voices of hope. And they're yours and they're mine. These are the voices of hope. And they're yours and they're mine.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Voices of Hope podcast. I'm welcomed by Geet today. Actually, a lot of you might not know, me and Geet grew up. And Geet is the founder of
Geet Collective.
Geet Collective. Before we start the podcast, I just want to go over the events coming up, just so we get that out of the way. Our back to school campaign is starting, which is very exciting here. I know summertime's a lot of fun, but you gotta get back in that rhythm of getting ready for school, and that's an expensive time. So, but on top of that, we have our bike rodeo, which is August 20th. We have our East Coast Kitchen Party, our summer concert, August 27th. Tickets are limited, so buy them soon. Don't want to miss out. It's gonna be a great night. But then we have our food drive, August 29th, which is gonna be another great event for the community to come together. We really appreciate the support everyone gives us on the food drives. But then an event we're looking forward to next week actually is our Christmas in July, on July 18th at the River Lions game. We'll be there collecting food and funds for Village of Hope, and then we'll all go hang out and watch a great basketball game. So, but without further ado, I think we're gonna get into the podcast. So,
All right.
Geet, for everyone that doesn't know you, introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about you, where you
Sure.
grew up.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Geet from Geet Collective, and we're a video production company based in Beamsville. I grew up in town. I've been here for 17-ish years now. So yeah,
Long time.
Thomas and I guess sort of grew up together.
Oh, yeah.
We were in Vineland together
Yeah,
for like a year,
Elementary.
and then BDSS after that, 4 years.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a long time.
That's right.
So you moved here from India, you were telling me.
No, so I was born and raised here.
Okay.
And then for the first 10 years, my brother and I, or our family, we lived in Brampton.
Mhm.
Then we moved to India for a year and a half or 2 years, and then we came back and then moved to Beamsville.
Okay. And now you grew up, or when you moved back here, you guys got a farm.
That's right.
That was probably a bit of work for you growing up.
Yeah, yeah. So again, my father just found this property in town, and I think we initially saw it as an investment, but then there was all this farm equipment there, 11 different tractors, a bunch of barns, and it was, I mean, it was a fully operational orchard, right? So we
Yeah.
thought, why not give it a shot ourselves,
sure.
right? So we farmed it for a couple of years and then realized very quickly how difficult farm. Of course, I learned how to drive a tractor before driving a car.
Oh yeah, I know my daddy used to have a tractor, and he have the one with like he would just lift the bucket, and then he'd be like, "Oh, sit in the bucket," and then he's driving around the tractor on his property, and I'm sitting in the bucket. And my stepmom was not a fan.
Yeah,
of that.
we don't do anything like that. I think yeah.
You were more safe.
a
then,
little
I
bit,
think.
a little
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
that's probably the good idea. So growing up in Lincoln, there's been a lot of memories made in this
Sure.
area. Do you have a favorite? One of your favorite memories or favorite things to do when you were younger?
Yeah, you know what? I think it kind of just relates back to the farm. I would say growing up on the farm, I don't think I maybe appreciated it as much as I do now.
Mhm.
Like we had ATVs on the property. We had, you know, it's 45 acres, run around, do whatever you want. And growing up in a small town, I just love how everybody there's pros and cons to everybody knowing everybody,
Yeah.
right? The cons are if
Of
I mean
course.
you got to be on your best behavior, but the pros are you have this tight knit community, and yeah, I would say just growing up on the farm and also just building that community here locally has just been, I mean, it continues to be a great thing.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in such a small area, it's always cool because you may go a few years without seeing someone. That's what happened. We graduated high school, and me and you kind of went our own ways. And then about a year ago, we ran into each
Probably,
other, and
yeah.
now we see each other probably once every 2 months,
Every now and then,
roughly, every
yeah.
now and again. It's always cool, but it's cool to catch up with people that you've known since younger. But say you live in St. Catharines or Toronto, once you graduate high school, you're never seeing any of them again,
No.
probably because it's just so big.
Yeah.
It's just so cool to have that small community.
Yeah, I think, you know, what happens is when you're in school, I think everybody's kind of, you're all in this path together, right? Like you're in the same grade, you're taking similar classes, and everybody's sort of like on this equal playing field. And then once you hit post-secondary, that's when everybody just kind of fires off, right?
Yeah.
They go into like completely different directions, right? They might move across Canada or the States or a different country, or you know, now they pick a career path, right? And so that's when everybody kind of splits
Yeah.
up, and you know, when you see them 5, 10 years down the line, it's super interesting to see where people ended up, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of it's funny when you look at it like that because elementary school, you're all at the same level, same playing field, and then your one friend's going to different high school, and you're like, oh, we'll still be friends, and some people do, and then you go to high school, and then all the people at that high school, they're on the same level, and then you go to college, you all go different ways, or
Yeah.
university, and then you're all at the same level as those people. It's kind of cool. Every level of life, there's always people on the same level as you,
Sure.
facing the same
Sure.
challenges.
Yeah.
So then you graduate high school, and what was that like? Where did you go?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, first of all, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? So growing up on the farm, my father was a truck driver, and of course we had all these tractors and things that needed repairs, right? So I naturally went down the line of becoming a truck and coach technician. So I was basically glued to my dad while he was working on stuff.
Mhm.
And so straight out of high school, I started working full time as a truck and coach technician in town, and that is just the path that I saw myself in,
Mhm.
right? And the end goal there was to open up our own garage, and so we kind of had this whole thing planned out, my father and I, and a year and a half of working on trucks, I was kind of done with it. So
Yeah.
so I dropped that, and today now we're in the film industry. So just a complete 180. Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit about it before the podcast. What was there a certain one thing that made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna give film a try?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll try to cut a long story short, but
Hey, we got time.
yeah, when I was a mechanic, I think this was back in 2018. I started a nonprofit called Niagara Strong, and that was for mental health awareness, specifically for the youth. And started that because back in 2018 there was a lot of suicides off the Burgoyne Bridge in St. Catharines,
Yeah.
and so that really struck me, right? Like for people to take a step like that, and this was multiple times in a week, and people our age, right? So made a video on my phone, just went viral in Niagara, and so that's kind of what was the birth of Niagara Strong. And so I was a mechanic, plus I was doing Niagara Strong at the same time,
Okay.
and that's when the Rotary Club of Lincoln, I guess, I caught their attention. They sent me to the States for their leadership camp. And then when I came back, I gave my 2-week notice at the shop.
Yeah.
And then I had a path of either becoming a social worker and really kind of going deeper into Niagara Strong, or it was joining the film industry. And the film industry was just from being passionate about producing my own videos growing up, right? Like just silly things for school projects. So I decided that let's try the film thing out, and I can spread awareness on different social causes through film.
Sure.
And so that's
So
here
then
we are now.
I'm sure you come back and you're like, you give you 2-week notice, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go in this. She probably got a camera and you just started taking
That's right.
filming, and but everyone like, I look at where you are now, I'm like, we have so much technology in this room,
Sure.
lights and cameras, but it probably wasn't always like this. There's
No.
probably a lot of struggling,
Yeah.
lot of working hard.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. This is a very tough industry to get into, right? So when I first started, it was literally just one camera, one lens, one battery, and away we go.
yeah.
And so the way I started was, I would check out what kind of events were being hosted in the town of Lincoln, and I would just go to the event organizer and say, "Hey, would you like a free video?"
Mhm.
And who's going to argue with a free video,
Of course.
right? And so that's how I built my portfolio, and then the free projects eventually turned into paid work, and that's it. Yeah.
And that's where like we talk a lot on this podcast about how it's a small community and we're all so tightly knitted together.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it works to your benefit, because a big thing in a small community like this is word of mouth.
Sure.
You go to these events, you're doing all these free videos, and then other people like, that looks really good. Who did that? Oh, Geet did it.
Yeah.
Geet Production did it for free. And
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what? I want him. I'm gonna hire him. So slowly it turns, and you've gone from, I'm assuming you started with just yourself.
Yeah. So I started freelancing, and then eventually I grew out a team. So now there's 5 of us total, and right now we're actively hiring and scaling the business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so how long has Geet Production been alive?
Geet Collective. So
Geet
Geet
Collective,
Collective has been around. So it started off as Geet Chahil Productions when I was freelancing, and then eventually I rebranded it to Geet Collective. But I've been a cinematographer for about 7 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We were talking about us being in high school, and then
Time
you said
flies,
7
right?
years. I was
I
like,
know. It hits you.
yeah, wow. Well, and that's it, right? Things go by so
quick.
fast.
Yeah.
So then you've talking about you go on all these freelancing gigs. And,
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories or any unexpected things that have happened while filming?
Yeah, you know what? I think there's always like fires that need to be put out,
Yeah.
like in production, right? There's always like maybe it's talent showing late, or maybe a piece of equipment goes down. So there's always like things like that. But funny stories. I think funny stories become funny after the fact. I think in the moment it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're in a bad situation. I think one of them has to be conducting interviews, right? Like I've conducted hundreds of interviews at this point, and you kind of see it all, right? You see people that have never done it before and are super anxious, especially when we have camera equipment out, lighting, stuff like that. It looks super intimidating, right? Like big lights, and sometimes the light's so bright you can't see me, right?
Yeah.
And then we've interviewed people that maybe have a background in radio and television, right? And it's just one take and we're done, in 5 minutes. And so we've definitely had a situation where, somebody's walked out in the middle of an interview, said they needed to use a bathroom, and then just went home. And team and I were waiting, and just nobody shows up. And so that's one of like an extreme. more of an
Yeah.
extreme example. But now that's why we have options with teleprompters. So we always like to give our clients options between doing like more of an organic interview or scripting it out and using a teleprompter. Um, because sometimes we've had situations where we're stuck for like 2 hours conducting one interview and they just can't get the words out.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Well, but that's where it gets hard. You can't plan for all these things. Of course, we have at events happen to, or with your filming, and problems will arise, and then after the fact, you just can't help but laugh at them.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of the fun of it too. That's what makes it exciting. Obviously, you want everything to go perfect.
Yeah.
But if they don't, you do the best you can.
Like we like the variety of work, right?
Of
Like
course.
I love that, the type of productions we do, like they vary so wildly, right? And again, there's pros and cons to that, right? I mean, the pros are like we're just doing different things. The cons is sometimes we might be shooting something or doing something we've never done before. But that becomes a learning opportunity in itself, right?
Of course. So then we talked about the funniest. Do you have a coolest project you've ever done, or like the most memorable?
Yeah, I think the thing that sticks out right now is we just finished shooting, or it was just launched, sort of like a mini documentary about the Port Dalhousie carousel. And so we're contracted by the city of St. Catharines to produce this, and we're essentially shedding light on this carousel
Yeah.
at Lakeside Park and showing the behind the scenes of how this carousel is being restored. And we tend to do a lot of projects around this space, like about historical stuff and with museums, and it's cool because you just learn something new, right? And you start to grow this appreciation for the things that you're working on. So that is probably some of the best work we've ever produced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one.
So yeah, well, it's the meaningful ones. You've shot hundreds of different events,
Yeah.
or but then so I know it, and just for people watching, a big thing we talk about is like finding your identity.
Sure.
That's what last week was. We had a guy Dylan Arndt from Calvary, and he was talking about how it's important for the youth to have guidance and people they look up to, and that every youth should have a role model that isn't a parent. And where I'm going with this is with all that you're recording and that, but you grew up in this area. Is there someone that is there something that you would say to the younger people, like any advice to going into this industry? Because
Yeah.
people go to school, but you were saying that you learned it all from YouTube and watched a lot of it from YouTube.
So I did go to Mohawk for television and broadcast, but I think a big reason why I guess things are working out is I didn't just rely on school to get me to where I needed to be, right? First semester of college, I bought a camera and I just started freelancing immediately.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I came from being a mechanic. I just quit that job. And so in my head, my mindset was this has to work out.
Of course.
Otherwise, I'm going to be back in the garage. And so my biggest piece of advice to anybody that goes to this industry is, especially if you're in school, is don't rely on just school getting you to where you need to be, right? Because the way this industry works is, after when you get that diploma, that piece of paper, you don't just show it to somebody and get a job.
Yeah.
Shooting commercials like that's just not how this works.
No, of course.
You need to build connections. You need to build a network, and you need to build a portfolio. Because even when I hire now, I do not care where these people graduated from. Like, I don't care if they went to film school or if they didn't. What I care about is your portfolio. Like, can you do the work?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah, like somebody could go to the best school in the country for film and television, but if their portfolio doesn't line up, then
well,
it doesn't make
exactly.
sense.
And I mean, with technology changing a lot, it probably makes your job a little harder.
Yeah.
Staying up to date with all the current technology. But is there a lot of YouTube of learning that goes in it?
For sure. I mean, yeah, there's new equipment showing up all the time, right? So I took a bunch of different online courses
Mhm.
that weren't tied to an institution, but they were from people in the industry, and that's how I learned a lot of my skill set was
Yeah.
just like learning from people that are in the industry working currently,
Mhm.
right? And then besides that, it's just being on set and just practicing, right? Like trying different lighting setups and seeing what works.
Of course, you just gotta find. I mean, what change? Probably you do different lighting for every
Yeah.
situation. That probably gets pretty complicated. You definitely have to know.
Yeah, it just it just becomes muscle memory. You just like see what kind of setup that you're looking for or what kind of image you want, and then you just instantly you just recall the setup you had
Yeah.
previously. And like for example, right now we have a lantern set up.
Yeah.
Whenever I shoot podcasts, this is the setup I work with,
Yeah.
right? So I don't think twice about it.
Well, and that, yeah, it's such a it's such a cool moment for me and Dylan because before having you on, we just had just a little camera and this microphone, and now we have this giant lantern. We have boom microphones. It's really cool to see, and we have cameras all over. It's really cool to see
Yeah.
because I'm not in the filming industry, but it's really cool to see all the different like the million chords you have and how watching you set it up, you just did it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, what is he doing? And you're looking at my setup and you're like, okay, and you're helping me with it, and I'm like, you, it takes a lot to learn all that because
Yeah.
I'm just watching. I'm like, I don't know what's happening
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. There's so many different like levels to video. I mean, like the camera is one piece,
Mm.
audio is a whole other beast, and then there's lighting. That's a whole like so there's so many different levels to it.
Yeah.
And it you just learn it over the years. It's not something that you can just digest over a
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah.
So then we were talking about the carousel, and so it's more of a documentary then.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite type of production, whether it's documentary or just filming events or?
Yeah, I think I like the documentary style stuff,
Mhm.
right? Where we do some interviews, we shoot some nice B-roll, and I actually do like the museum stuff because I find that we can be a little bit more creative and a little bit more artsy fartsy with the stuff that we
Yeah.
produce. Um, events, I used to shoot so many events. That's really how I started my career, but events can kind of come across as cookie cutter now, right? It's just a lot of like shooting B-roll, throw some music over top, and it's kind of samey now.
Mhm.
But I think documentaries, that's what I really enjoy right
And
now.
so you're doing that one. Have you done others? There's been a few documentaries then.
Yeah, I mean I've shot like quite a bit with the museum in Jordan, the
Mhm.
Lincoln Museum and Cultural Center. I've gone up to Dufferin County in
Okay.
Orangeville to shoot some stuff out there for the Fisher Price exhibit, which
Yeah.
is super cool. So yeah, it's like documentary. It doesn't even necessarily need to be like this half-hour National Geographic style thing.
Mhm.
It's just sort of like a style where it's just like you're learning about something. There's some B-roll attached to it, and anything where we need to share a story. That's what I enjoy shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the carousel one, it like that. I mean, as a kid, I probably went there a million times.
Yeah.
That one's done or that's in production
It's
now?
done. It's already out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then with all your project, where can people go to find it? Just your website or
Yeah,
social media?
so social media like YouTube, our Geek Collective YouTube channel. We try to update our website as much as we can,
Yeah.
but usually we slack on that a bit. Instagram, we're very active on Instagram as well, so we like to post the behind the scenes
Sure.
of how we produce our stuff. So Instagram is a big spot
Yeah.
for us for sure. Yeah.
So then, obviously, the business side, you is very busy.
Yeah.
So outside of work, grew up in this area.
Yeah.
A lot of your friends are in this area.
Sure.
What does someone as busy as you do in your free time? Do you have what's your hobby?
Yeah. I'm getting really into golf right now. Like I've
Okay.
caught the golf bug.
Once you get it, you can't lose
It's so tough. Yeah. I enjoy bouldering, so rock climbing inside.
Really?
I'm just getting back into the gym again.
Okay.
So I've there's phases of me where I go like super hardcore into the gym,
Mm.
and then I guess I burn out, and then I just stop, and then
Yeah.
I gain weight back, and then I go back to the gym, and it's just constant up and down. Um, so yeah, indoor rock climbing, golf,
No, okay,
stuff
then
like that.
then
Yeah.
golf. Are you good at golf? Do you
I'm
think?
terrible. I'm terrible. So like I'm still very, very, very new.
Yeah.
Like I like I have no idea what my handicap is, but it's probably embarrassing. So I need to get more practice in.
I know I have a few friends and they go like once or twice a week and they love it. And I'm like, if I went, I'm like, I'd be terrible.
Yeah, so like I like I think 99% of the balls just go into like the woods or
Yeah.
water. I swear there's like magnets in the water or something. My ball's always magnetized there, but you hit that one good shot and it's like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like,
you're like, I could do this again.
yeah.
Well, that's it. It's a little expensive though too.
It does.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But I find that because I have a business, I find like business and golf just go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Like I've already made such good like business relationships because of golf.
Of course, yeah, it's a great place to take them.
Yeah. So that's why I do it.
Okay. So you don't take business meetings to bouldering?
I have actually.
Yeah?
I have. Yeah. I've actually taken a few clients out bouldering. I think it's because I'm not like the best climber, but I'm definitely a better climber than I am a golfer.
Yeah.
So I've taken a few clients out bouldering, and it's just a fun time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Yeah, I have.
So
Yeah.
what? Because I know what it is, but I don't
Sure.
go.
Yeah.
Do you go? What do you how do you pay it for an hour or?
Yeah,
per
well, no, it's
climb?
for like per day, right?
Yeah.
Like you could get a day pass or you can get like an annual kind of membership. And so I just
That's
go to
cool.
Gravity Niagara
Yeah.
in St. Catharines there, and there's other bouldering gyms in the area. But I just like the community around it too,
Yeah.
right? Whereas when you go to a gym and you're weight training, everybody has their headphones on, they're in their own kind of like bubble. They're gonna work out for an hour and then go to work. Whereas bouldering, there really is this community around it, right? When
Really?
you're trying to
Okay.
climb, you can't reach the top, you give it 3, 4, 5 shots. The sixth attempt, you finally get it. The whole
Yeah.
gym's like clapping,
Really?
going wild. Yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's just obviously that increases the level of fun then,
Sure.
because when you get there, not only are you excited, everyone's excited.
Oh yeah, it feels so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. On top of that, I know you were telling us you just bought a house
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
That's a big life change.
Yeah, huge change. Yeah, it's been 3 or 4 months. So now I'm adapting to home ownership and everything else that brings.
Yeah. Big change for you. You find it's a lot more stressful or a lot more
I love
lot
it.
better.
I enjoy it. You know, I've been renting a lot, and it's nice to not have to share a wall with anybody,
Oh, for sure.
right? Because I've either been like in a basement or like an upper unit. But now we can just like turn up the volume on the TV, and we don't
Yeah.
need to worry about anybody else being disturbed. And it's our thing now. It's my
Absolutely.
thing, right? So, but now you do look at things a little bit differently, right? Like you look at the gutters carefully and the outside
Yeah.
and the inside, and you want to maintain it, right? Whereas when you're renting, it's not that you're gonna trash the place, but you
Yeah.
don't look at it with like a magnifying glass.
Oh, and that's it. I know when I bought my house, first thing I did was I'm like, had to rip up the floors. I'm like, okay, so there was a lot of work, and I'm like, oh, well, if I'm doing that, I might as well
Might as
paint
well,
it.
yeah.
And then you're like, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well do the trim. And then you're
Sure.
like, okay,
It adds up.
it
Yeah.
adds up. But then you get in there and you bring all your furniture in, and that day's probably pretty stressful to
Oh
move.
yeah. Yeah.
Then you sit back and you're like, this is mine. This is
It feels good. Yeah.
exactly. It's like, because when you rent, it's your home, but this is a different level of calling it your home.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, the other thing about home ownership too is I don't know if you can relate to this. Like we're both the same age, but I always thought of home ownership as like the final boss of life,
Yeah.
right? Because growing up, I'm like, these house prices are like impossible. My goal, my mindset was, I need to get a house. I need to get a house. Like
Mhm.
that was once I get a house, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
And that was like literally that was the end goal for me was
Yeah.
getting a house. Now I have a house, and now I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
now what? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But
Yeah, like,
it's
what's the next goal? Is like, oh, pension? Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
well, it's starting a family and living your life, right?
Well,
But
that's it.
it's sad that that's what the thinking is that home ownership is so like far out of reach.
Hmm.
And it is for a lot of young people, right? Like,
Well, yes, and that's where it gets hard. I know. Before I bought my house, I was looking at trailers in Beamsville, and I'm like, oh, I had an offer accepted. I'm like, I'm so excited. So then, but like that's where it gets hard because oh, trailers they're not as expensive as a house. They're still very expensive. But then oh, your mortgage is only 700 a month. You're like, okay, that's not as bad as a house. But then $800 a month
pad
lot
fees.
fee, and it's like,
Are you talking about you're talking about the trailer park
yeah,
in town, right?
yeah,
So I almost picked up a property there.
okay,
Yeah, and it was pad fees that
yeah.
kind of threw us off, and we're like, I'd rather have my own place,
Mm.
not have to worry about pad fees because every time it changes ownership, the pad fees increase, right?
Well, and that's what I had a meeting. I sat down with the bank and looking at that, and they're like, you know, you could probably get a house for this amount for the same monthly because of the pad fee. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because then, well, I mean, the trailer I was looking at, there was had to do renovations anyway. So I'm like, well, there's no point.
Yeah,
Um, but it like I think those are really cool. But 10 years or when I was a kid, I know my parents. That's but they start out in one of those. But the lot fee was $100
yeah,
then. So, and there's still some people that don't pay much for lot fees.
yeah.
But it's just for people our age, it's just not
No,
feasible.
no, no.
I'm I am. I'm sure you feel the same that we're both blessed to have houses that we're
Yeah,
fortunate enough because renting it's you're not renting like with mortgage it's kind of you're paying into for yourself the money you're for your mortgage payment is for you taking off your debt we'll say
yeah.
but if you're renting you're not renting for anything you're putting money in their pocket
No, no.
so
I
it
think
gets
I think the
harder.
benefit for the long time was, oh, if you're renting, you're paying less than you're paying, whatever, 500, $800. But rent is so out of control these days
Mhm.
where you're not really saving anything when you're renting, right? It's
Well,
I was
that's
paying
it.
about $2,300 a month
Yeah.
with rent plus utilities. Like that is
And you're almost probably paying less for a house at
I
that
am.
point yeah
I am. My mortgage is a lot less than that, right?
and that's where it's hard. Like we live in a society where it's just allowed. Where oh, it's a 1,700 for a one bedroom tiny apartment. It's like, well, can't start a family there, so you can rent there, but you make 1,900. We'll say. Well, then you have $200 after that. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But no, it's just it's hard because Beamsville in that area is very expensive.
Yeah.
Beamsville, Vineland, Jordan's too.
Yeah.
It's hard because it's such a beautiful community. I know your house is in St. Catharines. That's where I live. Funny enough, he lives like a minute from me. What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for people our age, deciding, and that I think for me it was always, do I want to rent somewhere? Like, it's cheaper, even, but like you said, now it's just through the roof.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Good for you on getting a house.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure your parents are pretty stoked for you and all your friends.
Yeah.
Was there a party?
Yeah, we had a little housewarming, but I need to do another one soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's funny. I moved in the day I moved into my house was my birthday. So
Oh, yeah?
I moved in, and from the point of me moving in to when my friends were coming over for us to hang out and then go to casino for my birthday, I probably had 3 hours. So I went there. I was rushing, and I have dogs, so my dogs weren't. I didn't bring them yet. So you get there, and it's the one time I like organizing because you have 30 totes you're going through.
Yeah.
To like where to kind of like a puzzle trying to find where to
Sure.
go, put everything. But with that, is it different you find owning your own house than living at home?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You like the
freedom.
quieter? Yeah.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can put whatever you want on the walls. I mean, I leave that to my girlfriend. 'Cause
Yeah,
she's an
of course.
artist. But yeah, it's just you know what? It doesn't feel like I've been out of my parents' home for many, many years.
Yeah.
So like the feeling from that, I mean, I've left home years ago. So I've felt that sense of freedom for a long
Yeah.
time now.
Which is cool to not have a landlord, not something
Yeah.
like, oh, like
Now the
rent
bank's your
through
landlord.
that's true, yeah. It's just always funny. Sometimes you wake. I find when I know my mortgage is coming out, I don't look at the bank. Then I get a little worried to open the bank.
Yeah.
But but then it's exciting. And always for me, when I lived at home, I hated cutting grass. Now that I own a home, I'm like, it's not. I kind of enjoy it because
Yeah. It's your lawn.
yeah, it's mine.
Get some dad shoes, some New Balances going.
Oh,
There you go.
I have the worst flip flops.
Oh,
They're
yeah?
so ripped up, but you just throw them on. My
Dude,
friends make fun of me for
I'm
them.
so excited for my lawn.
Yeah.
Like it's just I look at so well, on the farm it'd take 2 full days to cut the grass,
Yeah.
right? So much land, and we'd use those giant bush hogs at the back of a tractor. And by the time you're done, your body's
Yeah.
still vibrating, right? But now I have like a small little cute backyard, small lawn up front. And it takes maybe like maximum 5 minutes to cut the grass,
Yeah,
right?
that's awesome.
And I want to level it out, get some topsoil, some
Yeah.
sand, and make it look nice. And I think to your point, it's also because it's like your own,
Yeah.
right? So yeah,
It's funny. First thing, you move in the house, and then you're like, okay, you start living in. There's always you're like, eventually, not now, but eventually, I'm gonna change that, or there's things
Sure.
you're gonna like work on. I know I've had house renovations going on,
yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I'm like, great, that's done. I'm like, that needs to be fixed now, and then
Yeah.
so now you'll either
it's
you're
never
there
ending.
or
It's a
you're-
never ending list.
Oh.
Yeah, we're already there. Trust me.
Well, and that's it. And then it's just, I know for me, I had, and 2 bedrooms, and my one, I put in a sliding door. So I had someone take out the window, put in a sliding door, and then people are like, oh, the value of your house is going to go up. And I'm like, I'm just happy I have a sliding door. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
It's cool doing renovations.
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything painting when you moved in?
No, the house was pretty much move-in ready. We were quite fortunate there, but there's
awesome.
there's definitely like some small maintenance things that
Mhm.
need to be done, right? Like swap out some door seals, stuff like
Yeah.
that. We have a detached garage. The wood behind the gutters is completely rotted out, so we need to swap
Yeah.
that out. We don't have an asphalt driveway, so that's on the list. We want to take power to the detached garage, so that's
See
on the
there.
list.
3 months, you're already there. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, like so because I got a car, that electric car,
Yeah.
like a month or 2 after I got the house.
Okay.
So then we installed we got a Verhoof Electric in town to go install a car
Yeah.
charger there, and it's just been nonstop.
Is it a 1-car garage or 2?
So it's a 1-car garage. We're not parking the car in the garage right
Okay.
now. It's pretty tight,
Yeah.
but we have a super long driveway. Unfortunately, you can only fit cars front and back. You can't
Yeah.
do side by side. But
Which is fair. But you can't park on the road there, can you?
you can like if you have a permit or after like
Yeah.
6 p.m. or something. But like our cars can fit in the driveway. It's not that big. Of
Well,
a deal.
exactly. Yeah. And if you have a party, they can figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll worry about the house. They worry about wherever they
that's
want to park.
exactly it. Yeah.
There's a parking lot down the road. You walk up.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, usually our parties are after a certain time anyway, and that's
Yeah.
when you can park on the street. It's not a big deal.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
No, it's very exciting. So you got a lot going on with work, a lot in
Yeah.
your personal life. So not only are you very busy, but it's an exciting time in your life. We talked about stuff you're doing at your house, renovations and that.
Yeah.
Then is there next anything big projects coming for work for Geet Collective?
Yeah, I mean, we have our local lens series that we want to kick back up again, and we kind of want to do a new and improved version. And so we've done 6 episodes of local lens covering different towns in the area or different kind of communities, but now we want to do kind of like a host-led version of that where we can dive a little bit deeper into the towns. Dive deeper into the businesses and cover more ground. So we want to cover, St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, Niagara on the Lake, and we want to do a mega Town of Lincoln episode because
Absolutely.
so far the episodes we've kind of, we've done Beamsville, Vineland, Grimsby. We've done like small little
Yeah.
pockets. So that's coming up eventually. Logistically, local lens is a lot of work to
Yeah.
do, but it's something that people still talk about. When I go to networking events.
Sure.
And yeah, besides that, we're busy all the time, man.
Yeah.
We've always got stuff going on.
Of course. Well, it's so cool for me to see how far you've come, and how far we're all coming. But for learning all this for us growing up together, kind of, well, grade 7, I think it
Yeah.
was. Going from that to seeing how you are now, it's so cool to see how far you've come. Would you want to tell them what your social media name is?
Yeah.
Just-
So our social media is Geet Collective. So if you just search up Geet Collective online, then you'll find
And
us everywhere.
And that's the website name, obviously.
Yeah,
too,
that's a
then?
website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think we post on TikTok, LinkedIn, all that. Just Geet Collective.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So then, if you need any some filming done,
I'm your guy.
he's your guy.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone that's watching or seeing this, go look at his website, go look at the stuff he's done. It is very impressive. It's taken you it's years of experience.
Yeah.
That's why you're the best at what you do, right?
I like to think so.
Awesome. So as we wrap things up, everyone, I just wanted to thank Geet for coming out and giving us some of your time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And all this production stuff in this room is really cool. I'm curious to see how it'll look after.
Yeah.
But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate all the views and all the love that you guys have shown the podcast. I will just say again, I know at the start I said our upcoming events. We're now entering our back to school campaign. So we're doing the drives for backpacks. Anything people need for back to school, we're looking for that. And then our Christmas in July, that's coming up. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get them. Come visit us. We'll be there. There's lots of exciting things going on here and lots of exciting things going on for you. So keep an eye out, look for them. Again, thank you for your time, and you have yourself a great day, everyone.
The room is getting quieter, the lights are getting low. Another conversation, another place we've grown. We laughed about the good days, we talked about the pain. And somehow when we share it, we don't carry it the same. So here's to one more story, one more voice tonight, one more reason to believe we're gonna be alright. And when the cameras fade away and everybody's gone, the stories that we shared today will still be carrying on. Until next time, take care on the road you're on. This is Voices of Hope, Niagara. Thanks for coming along.